into his hand and closed his hand up, and in that second, that terrapin hatched out. Now this is a true story. It was in the New York Times, right? You don't have to believe me. At any rate, so then he took the terrapin home with him, back to Savannah, to Olive Hope, and he named him Toby. And Toby was, we have a picture of Toby playing the piano. It was in that restaurant we were in last night, and there's Toby sitting at this little piano with your grandfather, great-grandfather, watching him. He's playing the piano. So Granddaddy also taught him how to turn over and turn back, told him how to shake hands with the gentleman and to wink at the ladies. That's true. And you can read it in that. So you all remember that story. So in the meantime, you have other stories that you need to know of. And I had a weird circumstance happen that I had been in touch with a story that had been written about Grandma Rose and Poppy at the pavilion. Oh, I don't know, remember how many years ago. But probably, let's say, what difference does it make? So this very well-known writer for the New York Times named Joseph Mitchell came to Olive Hope, and my mother and father fixed a table for them, and they must have had notice because they cooked one of these wonderful dinners that my mother and father knew how to make. Terrapin soup, shrimp salad. I don't think they had London broth. I mean, the delicious meal we had tonight, but at any rate, the whole schmear they had. And he also saw them pack a barrel full of terrapin to be sent to New York to the Fulton Street Market. And the way they packed them there, and Bill, I don't know whether you remember this or not, they used moss, and they put the moss in the bottom, and then they put a layer of live terrapin and more moss until they filled it up. And then it was sent to New York, to Metropolitan Club, to really high-class places in New York and D.C. So after Joseph Mitchell left here, and he went to New York, he saw them unpack that basket, and it's all in the story. The name of the story is the same as monkey glands, and there's a reason for that. Monkey glands has an ingredient in it that no doubt they put in Viagra. And the Chinese, particularly, particularly the gentlemen, like this. So terrapin was a big, big seller in these places. So Mr. Mitchell wrote the story, and he included it in a group of stories called McSorley's Famous Saloon.
McSorley's Wonderful Saloon.
Wonderful Saloon. Thank you, Bill. Well, I have a copy of the original, and I think Beanie has one.
Yes, I do.
But a friend of mine called me one day back in Winter Park, and she said, "You've got to come see this book." Because I tell everybody that listens about the story. So she pulled out this book, and it is not McSorley's Famous Saloon. It is up in the old hotel. And it has the same stories in it as McSorley's Famous Saloon. So for the 5 grandchildren that are here, and I know, Bill, you have one, but I'll give you another one.
I don't have that one.
Well, no, but it's the same book.
Oh, same book as
Even though it has a different name, it is the same book.
Oh.
That was McSorley's. This is up in the old hotel. So it was reprinted in this. So I remember that, and I asked Lynn to see Amazon if we could get copies for all of you, which she did, and so I have one for you 5 grandchildren. Also, about a year or so later, the same friend called me. She says, "You're not going to believe this, but it's been published in another book." And it's about that thick. I wouldn't dare buy that. It's the same stories in it, but they wanted it because it was a famous recipe in here, a famous story about food that was put in the U.S. Treasury of cookbook, of good recipes, American recipes. So see how famous your grandmother and your grandfather. So, okay, here's Donnie's. Rosie wrote a little note in there. Yeah, Donnie. sent to, these books sent to Jeannie in case we didn't make it. Okay. Now to remember, you all have any questions, ask us, we know everything. About our hope. Really. So, and I love to talk about it.
So, Aunt Gertrude, what year were you born here in Alapo?
1920.
1920.
I turned the big 90 last January.
Unbelievable.